The point of a lawsuit is to establish negligence responsibility on a defendant. In the construction site realm, the defendant is the general contractor, at least typically. Now, the general contractor, we've established, has certain duties to adhere to. Their status as being at the top of the pyramid or the captain of the ship imposes upon them a number of safety obligations. But that will not stop them, I assure you, from saying that the injured employee is the person who's responsible for their actions. Let me say, the injured employee could be a very young person, it could be a very inexperienced construction worker, and that right away should serve to minimize any allegation of negligence on the part of the plaintiff. Secondly, even if that person is experienced, you have to look at the totality of the work that the employee is doing, and that employee may have other considerations, such as being told, come on, let's get this job moving along, and they're therefore going to be afraid of potentially losing the job, and they may not be as careful as they might otherwise be. So it's always a balancing act, and it's always paying attention to the different responsibilities or different status of, if you will, of the plaintiff, the person suing, as compared to the defendant. Usually the defendant, as I say, is a corporation, a business that serves as a general contractor, and along with that responsibility or status are a number of obligations. There are many ways to help to prove negligence on the part of the general contractor. Among them are looking at the budget for the project. Some might have specific amounts earmarked for safety, earmarked for supervision, earmarked for a third-party risk analysis to be done. I've also spoken about a job hazard analysis or a site safety plan, and those aren't just documents that are to be written up and ignored. No, they're to be consulted by the project superintendent to make sure the project is being conducted safely. All of these things go into the calculation, if you will, of the plaintiff versus the defendant general contractor. After all, it is the general contractor who has the designation of being responsible and is presumed to be the one responsible for safety. Yes, everyone is expected to be careful on a construction site, but there are all different levels of responsibility. And the one who is most able to assess things from a almost aerial perspective is that general contractor, and in specific, that general contractor's responsibility. Keep in mind, the employee may not want to rock the boat. The employee wants to keep his or her job, and they're not necessarily going to be as safety-minded as you would expect them to be in the abstract. But there is no such competing consideration on the part of the project manager or project superintendent. They're the ones in the final analysis who have to be proactive. They're the ones who have to walk by and see something that, if they see something that is amiss, they have to step in and correct it. And they're the ones who have to walk by and make an inquiry as to whether things are being done safely, even if it's not immediately observable. So that are all, when you put in all these factors into the mix, I think you'll find that your injured employee is usually one who is not to be blamed. Thank you.